Thank you, Andrew. So the question now is, why are you here? You have the answer, but I'm pretty sure that you are here to develop your market. How can you develop your market? That's what you are here. That's what we are working for as ESSO, as missionaries for the solar shading. By the way, not paid. It's just because we are passionate about it. So, if you are here to develop your market, we have done a tremendous amount of work over the last years to say, okay, solar shading has all the answers. We have, in fact, all the answers to get your building energy efficient by heating, cooling, and artificial light, but also to get your building comfortable in a natural way. The problem is that we didn't communicate this to the end consumers. So we said, as ESSO, we need to provide a campaign to the market, to the experts, to the dealers, to the manufacturers, which they can use in their presentations themselves. And this campaign is what we call the Smart Solar Shading Campaign. I will say Smart Solar Shading Campaign. What's this? Smart Solar Shading is in fact the intelligent combination of internal and external solar shading. When you do this, you can have energy savings of 22% of the energy which buildings use today, which is a tremendous amount of energy. At the same time, gaining a natural comfort. Next point is, that is what we know. The next point is, how do we transmit this to the end consumer? That's the question. I will show you today that we are doing a lot to communicate, but we are all communicating in the wrong way. Because if you go on Google and you ask solar protection, what do you get, you think? Yeah. 33 first slides are this. It's very nice to see, but that's not what we need. So we will also protect ourselves if we go in the sun, but we are doing something else in this year. We are providing energy savings in buildings. We are providing natural comfort in a natural way. So, next question is, are we considered as a technology? This looks very nice. In reality, we are just a generic term for solar protection today for the end consumer. He doesn't know what it is. So we know what it is, but the end consumer doesn't. So we have been thinking for a long time how other markets do this. How does the glazing industry do this? You get 5, 6 huge multinationals who are communicating with this very strong power that, in fact, they have all the solutions. Yeah? Very focused messages, aggressive marketing. So, with a massive budget, which we, of course, also have. If you ask your question, if you ask your boss, of course you have a massive budget. So what they reach is, in fact, they have a full potential of their actions into the market to the end consumers. With a global communication and a very strong communication. In fact, they cover the world with their communication. Now, what are we? We are, in fact, we have to be recognized as the experts on solar shading, experts and providers of thermal and natural comfort, daylight. The real thing is that today we are not talking as one community. We are talking in a very fragmented way. So what we are doing is, and what we need to be doing is, talk as one community and talk exactly the same language. The question is, are we doing this today? We have the umbrella of the ESSO Solar Shading Organization, which is the umbrella organization the national organizations. But in fact, as a communication, if you see this on a map of Europe, we have a lot of different fragmented messages which are happening. A lot of small companies, very fragmented messages. In fact, what they are doing is every time they have a new product, they will communicate about that product, the strong points of that product. But is this the strong points for technical solar shading, for the technology? I don't think so, because we all have very small budgets. So the result is in fact very weak communication. We think we communicate, but in fact we don't. What could we be doing if we were really working together, if we are really communicating with a clear message? We could be manufacturers and dealers together, we could have the same communication about the advantages of solar shading. We don't need a big budget for that. In fact, the same budgets which already exist can be used. But we need to do this with a focused message. We need to say all the same advantages of solar shading. Clear advantages, and this being used by expert members. Because it doesn't bring anything if we communicate about smart solar shading and the end consumer goes to the dealer and he never heard about smart solar shading, or he doesn't know how to explain this to the end consumer. Sometimes the end consumer knows more about it than himself. So we need to become a much more focused and strong communication. So that is in fact what we are doing with this campaign. The Smart Solar Shading campaign is in fact bringing a brand to the market which manufacturers and dealers can use. And this is a protected brand, so it will only be used by experts that also commit to the benefits, which are supported by ESSO Academy, because they need to get to the expert level before communicating in this way. And this will be done by the national associations to their members. So what we are seeing here will be used by the national associations in their own country, it will be translated, and they can use it in the local way. So in fact we are providing a website, a campaign, a website which in fact clearly identifies all the advantages of solar shading. So if we go into the website, just one back, if you have a connection, you can go to this website and you can follow it yourself at the same time. So it's already existing. The campaign is in fact divided in two parts. One part which is for residential, and one part which is for the project market. So if we go into the website, I've just taken one slide of the website. In fact, we show clearly all the advantages of overheating, less glare, less heating, but more comfort, more health, and more savings for the residential market. The left part is clearly explaining why we can avoid overheating, and the right part is in fact putting this in a visual way so that it's easy to understand for everyone, even for us. And we have the same thing for the project market with a little different arguments, because there it's less cooling, less overheating, less glare, less artificial light, which is important for the project market, but more productivity, more health improvement, more natural daylight, and also more glass. Because the combination of a lot of glass and solar shading is the best combination you could have. So this is not against the glazing industry, it is for the glazing industry to improve their benefits by using internal and external solar shading. So that's what you get if you go on the website. So I would urge you to do this and enjoy yourself by clearly seeing all the advantages of smart solar shading. This presentation will be translated by the national associations. It will be brought to the national members of the national association, because that's the purpose. And in fact, it will be then also used by the companies, but only if they have also expert members who did the certification of this smart solar shading. And this certification can be done by following the academy, which will be organized by the National Association. So it's really the combination of the whole industry working together, having a brand borrowing. It's a little bit the Intel inside in your own promotions, so that you can still promote your product, but at the same time all the advantages of solar shading. That's the idea. It doesn't cost us more, it just focuses our communication to this in the same way. So that's the idea of the campaign. And I would like to give the word to Anders now, because he is going to talk about the ESSO Academy. And I would really urge you to spread the word and to use this Smart Solar Shading campaign. It doesn't cost a lot, it takes a little bit of training, and you will be able to follow it up. All right? Thank you very much.